Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And I'm Carter Glasscock. How you fucking doing?
Yeah, there he is.
What up?
There he
What
is. And today we are joined by my friend, comedian, comic book man, and the grand poobah of Wrigley Comedy, Chew, every month in goddamn Long Beach, California. My buddy,
Reza Asgari.
welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure to be back on the show. First time with Carter here, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Good,
Yeah, nice to
good.
see you.
Oh, fantastic. Well, how's everybody's week? Everybody been hanging good, doing the comedy thing?
Yeah, I've been hanging good doing the comedy thing.
You been doing comedy?
Yeah, I went to Mexican Village last night, had a kill set. It
Nice.
Put every audience member's head in the scope.
The villagers are still talking about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Fucking A, dude.
There's some real people there. There's some great comics there. Mexican Village. You
Hell
gotta
yeah.
go.
I like to take a chance, when it comes to the comedy situations. And I went to the weirdest goddamn mic I think I've ever been to. It was at an art gallery in Little Ethiopia. And it was fun, first of all, but right when I walk in, their entrance, I knew it was going to be weird. Do y'all remember in the mall, they used to have the hurricane machine?
Yes.
Where you would get in, you'd pay like $5, and then this machine would blow you at like 60 miles per hour. And it was like supposed to like simulate hurricane force winds, but
And
it
it
was
did.
just like...
It was literally just a heavy fan.
Right, yeah,
Right,
just a big
right.
fan. So
It was like, great. I paid $5 to get
It
my hair
wasn't an
ruined.
actual hurricane.
No,
It was
I know.
fucking bullshit.
no
Like it doesn't
water.
destroy your house.
$5
like,
fucking bucks down the drain.
And I don't know why we thought that like an actual hurricane would be better in an enclosed case
no.
that's 4x4.
it's like I can handle a hurricane, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
understand
just-
this.
Hey kids, hurricanes are fun. They're actually entertainment.
But that is the entrance to the thing. A deactivated hurricane blowing machine is what you have to walk through to get
Oh,
into
really?
the venue.
It's like a
That might be
weird
new.
modern like art gallery place,
Yeah.
performance
Wow.
space.
And I get in there and the guy's like, have a drink, man. Everything's free. And there's just lukewarm 2-liter of Coca-Cola and similarly lukewarm E&J brandy. And then he's like, okay,
nice.
he's like, so as of right now, you're going last and it's 12 minutes, which for those listening that are not in comedy, that for Los Angeles is literally unheard of.
That's like 7 mics.
yeah, that's all your mics in one. And I was like, oh, okay.
They use that as the selling point. by
Hey,
the way,
I'll
to
go back.
with a mic.
I'll
Yeah.
go back. I had a good time.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, like,
it's a hang. They're trying to get you like you take a shot at the beginning. It's like just settle in.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go hit a bunch tonight. You're not gonna grind tonight. You
Yeah.
work on 12.
yeah. Well, the hang included a guy in full cowboy regalia just ripping cigs inside. Which,
Oh yeah, that's another selling point is you can smoke inside.
yeah.
Oh,
They
yes.
advertise that
Dope.
online.
Yeah.
For somebody like me, that's a sweet sell.
I was about to say me too.
All right. Well, hey, what are we doing tonight? Let's go to Little Ethiopia, fellas.
I got stuff I got to do.
You don't fucking grind, man. You don't love this shit.
He's trying to grind.
I have to go buy underwear.
Oh, dude. Give me some too, please.
All right.
Legitimately.
Oh, it's that time. It's that time. Hey, let's go back to
I
Walmart.
got so many holes in my underwear. I gotta start throwing them away. The other way I found like 3 pairs. I was like, I might as well just not
Wow.
wear. These are like crotchless boxers at this
Dude.
point.
Are you going commando?
No, I still have some that like work. The ones that work.
That work.
Yeah, the ones that actually hold my testicles inside of the fabric.
Yeah, that prevent poop stains from going on the back of jeans.
Well, initially I saw that you had the and one boxers, and I mocked you for it. But then I
Yeah.
went and bought them because they were the cheapest ones at Walmart, and they have held up so good.
Oh yeah,
No hole. The Hanes ones all fucking ripped up.
yeah, fuck
and
those.
one, they're still making quality products.
Here's a question. How did we get to your underwear from smoking inside of a mic?
I don't know.
I mean,
Carter said he needs to buy underwear.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Carter making
That's his
excuses.
excuse to get out of
maybe,
excuses.
maybe I can
dude, you
give.
make an excuse. You don't like the grind,
You
bro.
don't like the grind.
Hey,
I-
the only way to go up is through the grind.
Yeah. So,
Ask Tony Hawks.
so I'll give you 2 more details, Carter. Maybe this will change your mind.
Okay.
So the first of all, I heard something I've really rarely ever heard in stand-up, which is a comedian was brought up, they grabbed the mic, and there was a full 20 seconds of dead air. Just they grabbed the mic and were just like, and you just heard them breathing.
So this is more of a performance.
Yeah. And then they broke the silence by going, and then there was 10 more seconds of dead air, just breathing and like lips, mouth drying out, lip smacking, and then he goes,
make the audience work for it. Make them sound. I mean, everyone's just like about to come in their pants. Like, what is this genius about to say?
That was the best part because I was waiting. I was like, oh my God, what is he going to say? And after 30 seconds of saying nothing, he just goes, oh, so I watch porn. I was like, no, you can't just walk on with the lamest fucking premise ever.
You act like you expected him to just turn to the mic and be like, it was the best of times.
Yeah. Well, no, it was even better to build up that much anticipation for such a hack premise. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then the last detail, maybe this will sell you on it. There was.
I mean, I'm already sold. Like, I'm gonna go.
There was one.
It's not tonight. I got stuff I got to do.
There was gonna take his weekly bath.
I'm gonna slip my wrist in a bathtub tonight, so I can't do it tonight.
There was
Harley's out of town. Time to kill myself.
I want that corpse to be ripe when she gets in there. I don't want it to be like, oh, we could save him. Like, I want like my eyes to be like white.
Oh God, that's like taking a note from the saddest gravestone I've ever seen in my life. I went to a cemetery with my girlfriend one day, and I passed by this gravestone, and I just stop and pull her over to it and take a picture. It said Sylvia Wallace, born whatever year and date, died on this year and date, but in quotes, nothing else. It just said, "Don't feel sad, feel guilty."
hell yeah!
I was like, Sylvia Wallace, you're my new hero.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
I don't know her, but I thought I killed her.
I mean, that's like, it doesn't matter how that woman died. It is with two birds fully extended. You know what I mean?
That should be the tombstone. It's just two, two
on
cement
fire.
birds. Yeah. There was one lady on the show, and this is how he brought her up. Because, there's so many creepy ways to bring up the only woman in the room. I've seen the buffet of it doing comedy in LA for 9 years. This was something else. The host goes, all right, your next comedian. Well, I'll just say this. This is a man's world. And then he sang a good chorus and like half a verse of James Brown. It's a man's world. And then that lady went up there and dealt with it, in the way that you should, which is just ignoring it.
It seems like one of those like freak show mics where it is like more of a hang than a like comedy.
There are better hangs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, honestly, regardless of everything else, I'm already sold on the smoking.
The smoking is 12 minutes.
Nice
12 minutes and smoking. That's
I don't even care about the time. I was going to text my girlfriend and be like, get a lift home. I found a place in LA I can smoke inside.
I mean, jeez.
That's the only reason I want to go there. I'll just be in the back all night. It's a man's world.
Yeah.
Honestly, the smoking inside may not even be like to the benefit because like I use smoking as a way to get out away from everybody.
Yes, not get in.
And then it's like, what are you talking about? Stay inside. You can smoke inside. It's a man's world. Like everyone's like puking drunk and everyone's like, it's so hot in here. And, I mean like that sounds
it was warm in there, I'll say that. Yeah, it was
that being said, I want to go eat at Masab soon.
Okay, well, let's do it up. We'll go in. But yeah, it is one of those where because there is so much time and there's so few people in there, you are just kind of like sitting there like, man, I'm going to look like a real asshole if I leave. But I definitely ducked out after the first comic after me said. I was like, all right, now I put in my time.
You stuck around until yours?
Yeah, of course. I went all the way to Little Ethiopia, man. I'm not going to not do 12 minutes in front of this freak show.
Minutes. That's a 15-minute car ride.
How many people were ahead of you?
Oh, too many. God, probably like 5, which whatever.
Oh, okay.
Lord. Well, but that's times 12.
Yeah,
everyone's
that's at least an hour and a half.
It's an hour.
Including the host time in between. That's like an hour 45.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and he was doing karaoke in between. So,
oh,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, at least the James Brown karaoke, as aforementioned. But yeah, so
when
anyway,
I went, it was like a 5-minute thing.
Yeah, well, they're really trying to bring him in with that free Easy Jesus smoking inside.
There's different nights that they do.
Okay.
I think there's different hosts.
Okay. Well, so fellas, for today's ungodly concoction, this came from the same Russian grocery store right next to Uncool Bar, where I got Smiles. Which, by the way, update from last week, we drank an energy drink that was being produced by a SoundCloud rapper named Smiles. Sam actually was the one who called it because we mentioned he was from Dallas. Sam's like, I bet his dad's rich. I bet he's got oil money. His dad is rich, and it is oil money, but only in that it's actually hair care products. It's that kind of oil. His father, who was worth...
That's pretty modest beginnings. Then.
Yeah.
Your dad's a hair care
Hear
magnate.
this. Wait, let us finish.
So,
Do you know my father, Philip Sassoon?
so
Dad, Peter L'Oreal.
yeah. So Smiles is Bruno Mascalo Jr. and his dad is the CEO of Bedhead. If you remember that from the mid 2000s, like it's what emo kids would put in their hair to like swoop it down.
People still use it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that dude is worth $575 million. And also Smiles, I found out
He's probably very legitimately talented. Then.
very much so. He paid for a Snoop Dogg feature.
He works with Tekashi 6.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh my God! Another legitimately talented person. Jesus Christ!
It was one of those tracks where you could tell they got together just because everyone is like, "You suck" to both of them. And they're like,
But
"We're
people
gonna
love it."
They're like, "We're gonna show you, and we're gonna suck together."
So this guy, he grew up
And
in
then people just listen to it. It's like I can feel something.
Yeah.
Even if it's hatred, I feel something.
So they recently his dad listed the house that this guy grew up in for sale. So that's how I know this. The house is 15,000 square feet. It has a movie theater and a lazy river.
Wow.
That's pretty nice.
He's got a goddamn water park. He's fucking Richie Rich and shit.
12 million?
$58 million currently,
Okay.
if anyone's interested in buying in Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It also has
Straight out of the gutter.
it also has a fountain.
He's all smiles when he's going down that lazy river with his daddy.
It has a fountain programmed to music that was designed by the same people who did the Bellagio in Vegas.
Oh Jesus Christ.
This is from
You're
the
gonna do it.
This is from the article. It says one room is entirely dedicated to Kiara Mascalo, that's his mom, her music memorabilia, an extensive cache that includes a microphone used by Roger Daltrey from The Who. Bruno Mascalo even used the office space as a private showroom for his Star Wars figurines.
Yeah. If anybody has a Boba Fett prototype, it's got to be that guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, so anyway, that's who that guy is. So, but this is a product that oh boy, I'm very familiar with this brand. The name of the drink is Cut, and this is produced by. Here's some throwback to mid 2000s.
Is this like in a?
Oh wow.
So is this in like a misogynistic way, or is this like cut in like a I cut because to feel?
Well, I just
Well,
saw
no,
the
you're
top of
cut
the
like-
label.
Well, no, this is
It's
cut
probably
like
self-harm. This is
Self-harm.
probably consuming this is self-harm.
Yeah, well, yes.
Or is this like this guy's cut?
That's what it means because this is made by Hydroxycut. Remember, R.I.P. Anna Nicole Smith. Her last ad campaign was for Hydroxycut.
This
I
is
saw
the
that
shit.
as soon as you turn the label up, like, oh shit, is that supposed to help you lose weight and
That's-
like get healthy?
That's
the
what
shit
it says.
fucking
God.
high school
That's
athletes
why
would
it's
take and have heart attacks.
Yeah. This is Energy Plus weight loss.
so perfect transition to rebrand as an energy drink.
Absolutely. My favorite of hers was Trim Spa.
Oh yeah.
Baby. I'm so sad.
Oh, maybe that was hers. Was she Hydroxycut? I don't.
She was
remember.
Trim Spa.
Trim Spa.
And
Okay,
then,
I fucked that up.
In the commercial, she'd go, "It saves you money." And then like a car would pull off with her on it. Trim Spa, baby. Oh Jesus, it was intense. We were in middle school. I just remember thinking that was Trim Spa, baby. Why am I on TV?
As like a 15-year-old, you're just laughing at this commercial like she's gonna die soon.
This is my first has been that I've actually seen be a has been.
This has the smallest letters I've ever seen, as to make it almost impossible to read what's in this. So
It
you know
smells
it's
good.
it's
It
not
smells
quality.
Really
good.
bad for you.
This is like a pomegranate, I believe. Here we go.
Try it.
Oh, Uh-oh, kind of like it.
Oh yeah, this is bad. I like
It
it.
kind of tastes a little bit like a Jolly Rancher mixed with Robitussin.
Yeah,
exactly. That's
Like a half and half.
Getting a lot of Jolly Rancher in here.
I got a hot
And
take.
a lot of like medicine-y taste.
Some Jolly Tussin.
Jolly Tussin, yeah.
I got a hot take here. This might be my favorite pomegranates flavored energy drink I've had. I'm not a big pomegranate guy, but this might be
not
my
bad,
favorite.
though.
Yeah. They've kind of cut out the tartness a little bit with a
It's a lot more
shitload of-
palatable than the rest of them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't like make you
Want to die?
well, it's not like it doesn't like leave like that gross like gummy feeling in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's a little crisper, a little
Yeah,
drier,
that's right.
It doesn't
perhaps.
leave the film.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave like the gross sugar film that most of these do.
God. Yeah. I can't.
It does kind of have like a funk to it though.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The back.
There's a medicine-iness to it.
It doesn't
for sure.
have.
Can you read that?
It
I
doesn't
fucking
have,
can't
like,
read that
the
shit.
monster. Which one? The one in the red?
Any of it.
It says if you use this key ingredient, which is cane for robusta,
That sounds legit.
in 60, the people who use that in 60 days lost an average of 10.95 pounds.
Wow.
With a
Okay.
low-calorie diet.
We're getting our beach bods on, fellas.
I can feel it working.
I like that it's like with a low calorie diet and a lot of exercise. Like I feel like this might just be.
I think this just spurns on uncontrollable diarrhea. is how this
you
helps.
lose
So
water
the can
weight.
is basically just saying, eat healthy and work out. You don't need us.
Right.
Well, a lot of these
This won't hurt, but it ain't gonna help either.
a lot of these energy drinks we've noticed have tried to rebrand themselves as health items.
Oh, yes,
which is
yes.
really funny. So,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
just their attempt in claiming it's some sort of dietary supplement.
Like Red Bull took the Coca-Cola approach, which is just like you're not anything but Red Bull. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so don't try to pretend like you're a health drink.
Right.
Or you're going to like, just be like, it's an energy drink. And then just a monochromatic front and don't put a bunch of words on the shit.
Right.
I'm going to be honest, guys. It's a good thing we split this because you're only supposed to drink half a can.
What?
At first.
At
At first?
Yeah.
You're supposed to get yourself really hooked on
Dude, this
it.
is really going to make us shit. I really think it is.
I guess just to test how
I've never
much it
seen an
gets
energy
you.
drink. It's like a fucking person who's never had weed having an edible for the first time.
Yeah.
Take 2 bites, see how you do.
Yeah, see how
Yeah,
you feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you make it that small then?
I feel like that should be as big as hydroxy cut on the top.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's why the
It's
damn
an annoying
writing's
serving size. It's like it should be for one can. Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be
Well,
for.
it says for added energy, consume one as needed, as a doctor.
It's needed as a doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if it's for weight loss, consume one can 30 to 60 minutes before your 2 largest meals of the day. Do not exceed 2 cans in a 24-hour period, like a doctor would say about medication.
Yeah.
A reputable
Wow.
doctor.
Do not take within 5 hours of bedtime.
You can't tell me when to go to bed, cut.
I'll say, were any of us planning on going to bed
No.
before midnight?
Carly's out of town. We're staying up all night long.
I'm gonna go jump on the bed. Then I'm gonna slit my wrist in the bathtub, like I said I was going to.
Run around the house.
And it is,
I'm gonna run around the house and eat candy.
it does say you're supposed to drink 10 glasses of water a day.
Like with that? Or
With
just.
it? Yeah, you have to dilute it in 1 gallon of water.
I've had a glass of water today.
It's for general
more to
good
go.
health. Yeah, 9 more to go. You should just drink a cut for the rest of the day.
I don't feel
Yeah.
safe now, considering all I've had today was that cup of coffee and now this.
we might need to get you some water.
I'm done for.
And then again, it nails in the 60 days thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're supposed to use this longer than 2 months in a row, according to the
You're
can.
Yeah, you're
60
supposed to-
days, you do this, you're going to be cut. You do
Yeah.
it for one day, you're going to have a psychotic episode.
Keep out of reach of children. Don't consume what's been tampered with.
don't taunt, cut.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're getting to the
Super happy fun ball.
Super Heavy Fun Ball type of disclaimer.
You'll never guess, but these claims have not been confirmed by the FDA.
Oh,
It's cool that they can sell that.
But
to
you know,
us.
the government lies a lot, so I trust the cut.
Yeah,
The U.S. government.
I just trust Dr. Cut. That's that's my primary care physician. Is
Okay,
Dr.
so
Cut.
Cooper bought this coffee we have, and it's called 3X coffee, and both of us were like, "Whoa,
Porno coffee?
Yeah,
Porno coffee?
Yeah. Well, it's
Wow.
supposed to be 3 times stronger than regular coffee.
coffee they serve at a porno craft table.
It just has crushed up Viagra in it.
and cum.
Do you want extra pubes on the side, sir?
He's like, I gotta go pick up my kids from school. Let's get this done. Let's get this over with.
Get that fluff cough.
Get that fluff coffee.
Okay, so
Anyway,
the coffee is 3X.
right.
3X. Both of us are like, wow, I can't wait to get jacked. We make some coffee. Or we were like, this isn't any stronger than regular coffee. I look at the back and they're like, if you want 3X experience, use 3 times the amount of the coffee. So that was their lie. It was just to use 3 times as much coffee.
You could do that with Folgers.
Yeah, with any coffee.
Yeah.
Do math, bitches.
Scammed.
We're
We got fucking
XXX.
scammed over at apartment,
So the-
whatever we live in.
But that's not the first time where the brand is the suggestion of overindulgence.
Yeah, you're
Just
right.
drink a shit ton of it.
yeah.
That'll fix your problems. This will make me thin. This can that has a fruit on it but isn't healthy or natural at
or
all.
made of any
Dude.
fruit.
If losing the pandemic weight, if the way I did it was by drinking a lot of cut, I'd be so pissed off at myself. Like, you can't diet and exercise. You just can't do it. You got to drink cut.
I'm a cup man.
That's one thing I noticed on the can that fascinates me is like I've never seen a white person in my life eat any goddamn pomegranates, but they love it in juice form no matter what it is.
You are right.
Sparkling
about
water
that.
and
Yeah.
shit. Oh, yeah.
White people love pomegranate in liquid form.
I was going to say LaCroix is my favorite. The
Pomegranate
favorite
LaCroix.
Yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
guys, it's good that Alpha Size trademark is a registered trademark of Kima Nutra. So we're drinking something by Kima Nutra.
like CHEM.
Yeah, I mean,
Hell
it's
yeah.
CHEMI space NUTRA.
Kima Nutra.
Oh, God.
You want to take a look at it.
Oh, I believe you.
The text is.
The text-
Can you read this with your glasses?
I
The
can't.
text-
I'm fucking. I'm
Holy hell.
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like.
I'm surprised I can read it because my vision's dog.
It
shit.
sounds like a company that was formed so they could create super kids.
yeah.
You're not-
Put this in their juice. Give them the Cheminutra, and we're gonna have a super baby.
Yeah, there's no way this company isn't responsible for like ruining so many rivers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
eggs with their chemical.
Kim and
waste
Nutra,
runoff.
yeah, they are also going to build like the dome that goes over the city that traps everybody in there. I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're just burying barrels of waste in the ground.
They have a
somewhere.
glowing man underground somewhere.
yeah.
For added energy for weight loss.
Yeah. You got.
You can use this drink for anything.
Yeah.
Apparently so. From all that, that's why the font had to be so small because it does a million things.
Yeah.
I do feel my focus and energy have been enhanced.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Want to step into my reality? Then enter Trim Spa's $1 Million Makeover Challenge.
Want a Viper? Want some money? Want to play?
Win a chance to party at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Like my body?
Then get dieting, exercising, and Trim Spa X32 and enter the $1 Million Makeover Challenge.
Trim Spa, baby.
So, the goal of this is to live better, to live healthier, but there might be another way. There's many paths up to the mountain, right? Of living well. And I wanted to share this with y'all. This is, I actually got this from a few sources, but the main article here is from the SF Gate. Joshua Boat wrote this. So this is a story about a man who was on a quest for health. His name was Wiley Brooks. Already off to a good start. The guy's name is Wiley, so it's going to be good. He was
Sounds like a healthy guy, Dan. Sounds like a guy that hikes.
He was born in Tennessee in 1936, and he said that as a kid he was sick all the time and did not like to eat. And furthermore, he did not understand why anyone needed to eat.
If you don't know, your ass don't get to eat.
The Daily Mail reported that as a young man, he'd been a New York-based sound engineer, and he'd worked with the likes of Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, although journalists have never been able to verify any of these claims. So we're off to a good start.
Private Plant say, let's get a couple of sandwiches in the studio. And he's like, why?
Why
Let's just keep going.
Why are you eating? Nevertheless, Brooke claimed that it was the death of Jimi Hendrix that led him down the path of investigating why people die, and he suspected the answer was food.
So I imagine he had some parents that weren't around, but like, did no one ever talk to him? Why do people die? Well, buddy.
Also, in the specific case of Jimi Hendrix, it's like, read the autopsy. It's pretty obvious why he died.
Well, if he didn't have food in his stomach, he wouldn't have vomited.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Great point.
Yeah.
Food, I guess
the food that killed him.
Food did. I mean, of course, it was the heavy barbiturates and heroin too, but food definitely
played a part.
On
played a
paper.
role.
Yeah, played a role.
Right here on Goods from the Woods, you found out first. Big Food killed Jimi Hendrix.
That's right, Big Food.
The rapper,
not just Mama Cass, but also Jimi Hendrix.
The rapper Prodigy choked on an egg and died.
From Mobb Deep.
Oh, yes,
That's how he died?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
Well, but I mean, he also had sickle cell.
Yeah, he was.
I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, he was in the
played a role.
hospital for sickle cell, but he did get killed by choking on an egg.
Damn,
Jesus
dude.
Christ, dude.
That sucks, man. The pretzel didn't kill George W. and it killed fucking Prodigy. That's not fair.
It's not right.
So Brooks first gained national attention in 1980 when he deadlifted 1,100 pounds on an ABC variety show called That's Incredible.
Oh, I used to love that show.
Have you seen this show?
Such a great show. Because half the time it was incredible. The other half of the times it would be like an animal trainer is like, look, my bird can fly up to the producer up the stairs and back. And you're like, that wasn't incredible. More, it was just kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, this particular...
you taught a bird to fly? Oh, amazing.
So, I mean, they had to fill time somehow.
Oh, man.
Well, this really would have been incredible. So after lifting 10 times his own body weight, Wiley bragged that he hadn't eaten in 2 decades. And a year...
And yet I live.
And a year after...
Where do we go when we die?
We go on TV and lie to people. A year after his bodybuilding stunt with the spotlight dimming, he appeared on Tom Snyder's The Tomorrow Show to argue once again that anybody could subsist exclusively on air and sunlight. And it was then that Brooks unveiled his new philosophy to the world. Quote,
Photosynthetic human being.
it's got the best name. Breatharianism.
Wow.
Like breath.
Like your breath. Yeah, you subsist off of just breath. Breatharianism, this is his quote, is a philosophy that believes that the human body, when it's in perfect harmony with itself and nature, is a perfect breatharian. You know, all the constituents that we need are taken from the air we breathe.
How embarrassed was he when he had to eat?
Oh, we might be headed that direction.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming he'd been eating in secret all these years.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
You mean to tell me this guy lived without food for 2 years? Maybe there's something to what he's
decades.
saying. 2 decades, 20 years.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Brooks told Snyder in front of a studio audience that seemed both amused and entranced by his words. He went on to make other strange...
Trance, like, what the fuck is wrong with this?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. This was 1980 in America. We had just elected Ronald Reagan. People are demonstrably a bit stupider when it comes to things they see on TV. That, you know, it's like, oh, it's on TV. It must be the
Not
truth.
like our Trump area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
People desperately wanted to believe in machines that could talk. Knight Rider, Airwolf, Transformers.
Oh, yeah, good point.
We needed it.
Wiley went on to make other strange, spurious claims, including that Breatharian mothers don't need to feed their babies because the children of Breatharians would be born able to survive on air and sun alone. He also said that prisoners who take part in hunger strikes and die are killed by their death wish, not from starvation. Wiley also had a habit of staring into the sun every day for several minutes.
He sounds like he was very good at lying.
Sometimes that's what a guy has to do, stare into the sun.
I mean,
yeah,
that's how you get the energy.
Everyone
It's like
does
Superman.
it. Everyone does
There
it.
comes a point in everyone's life where you got to stare to the sun directly for like 6 minutes.
Several minutes.
And just you kind of figure out who you are, which is a blind person. You're blind now.
There's a YouTube video of him doing this, by the way. Like he ended up like in this house out in the middle of the desert, and he's like, I can't be with anybody. He's just like sitting on his roof, just staring into the sun every morning.
If he looks in any way not like the guy from in Seven, like the sloth guy, then he's lying.
Well, no, he's very he is thin. I'll say that. Basic scientific knowledge of the human body notwithstanding, Brooks' message was beguiling, taking the nascent popularity of New Age culture at the time and translating it into the language of what we now call wellness. With his heavy focus on spirituality, he made the leap from a diet peddler to a guru. So now he's starting his own sort of religion here.
I don't understand what his plan to make money is here.
Oh, yeah. Low-fat and low-calorie junk foods like lean cuisine and Diet Coke filled Americans' fridges and minds in the 1980s, turning food into a deep source of shame. And the idea of self-restriction as the essence of health and beauty was already being shamelessly promoted in books and daytime television, so Brooks fit right in.
Of course he did.
So this is another quote from him. When you eat, you're adding pollution to your system. That masks the pollution in the environment. Most people don't realize it at the time, but that is the reason that we find eating pleasurable. It alters the reality of the pollution around us. So just perfect bullshit. Like, I love it. Like, if you're already predisposed to just saying yes to any weird diet, this
is kind of more on the people who follow this.
Yeah.
I feel like him and L. Ron Hubbard had to be friends. They had to have known each other.
He was taking notes, I assume. So
Wiley takes tokes of the marijuana smoke.
So he soon had a healthy cohort of followers. He opened the Larkspur, California-based Breatharian Institute by the end of 1982 and began teaching classes. Dozens of adherents paid $500 for lessons from the master himself. And according to Brooks's cosmology, mankind was created as breatharian, and then we began to backslide through the epochs as liquidarians, fruitarians, and vegetarians. And eventually we slipped all the way to the meat counter at the local supermarket. And what we lost along the way was the realization that the human body was an air gas electrical system.
Wow.
Just
so he's
like
basically
God
saying
intended.
the human body is just like a natural made Prius.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just need sun and water. So
every time you take a shit, you should be ashamed of yourself.
yeah, you did
You
something
don't
wrong.
need to do that.
I love the evolution of it though, like a breathitarian and then a juicitarian, and now eventually we're just I'm a hungry manitarian.
Well, he goes on to say that like food is not a source of nutrients, it's an addiction like heroin. So he's saying like the fall of man was essentially from when we went to just being an air gas machine to when we got tempted by the
So
juices.
it's not something we need. It's just something our bodies have craved and become addicted to. Now you're like, I'll suck your dick for a cheeseburger.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
right.
exactly.
That's where it ends. Menace to society.
Wow, we didn't realize how prophetic that was.
So in the first session, Brooks advised against starting with fasting. Rather, he wanted his followers to first clean their blood by eating foods with a quote-unquote yellow vibrational quality. And so these were just not even necessarily yellow foods, but foods that he deemed to have a yellow energy. Which
Not bananas.
Yeah, well, it included everything from grapefruit to papayas to chicken to Haagen-Dazs rum raisin ice cream. I was like, okay, now I kind of like this.
So basically, it's every food that he peed on.
And over the years, his story and his rules about what breatharians could and could not eat kept changing. It's even possible the foods with a yellow aura were based on whatever he felt like eating that day. Things were going great for Brooks and the breatharians until one fateful day in 1983. And this is from the Baltimore Sun, dated April 26, 1983. And the headline, just one of the best headlines of all time. Breatharian leader accused of eating.
Scandalous.
So here comes the fall. You were wondering when that third act was going to kick in. Here it is. A grave charge has been made against Wiley Brooks. He is accused of eating. The man who preaches the breatharian gospel that life could be sustained on air and light.
Molesting a bunch of kids, but eating.
He said he had not eaten in 17 years, but is rumored to have been seen by one of his former associates sneaking hamburgers and Kentucky Fried Chicken. The charges were made against him by Lavelle Leffler, who used to be the manager of the Breatharian Institute, and quote, this is her quote, "He's just a con man. The truth is he sneaks into 7-Elevens and fast food places and eats just like the rest of us, except it's worse because he has to rely on places that are open late at night."
Yeah, I like how she describes it as a sneak in.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's slipping in like a cat burglar.
So what does Brooks say to these outrageous charges? Quotes, "No one can prove I've taken any food. Look, we're dealing here with an angry, scorned woman. You understand? She's mad at me, and all she has to do to ruin me is start spreading the word that I've been sneaking into Circle K's all over the place. How can I defend against these lies?"
But see, I get why he did that, though. Like 7-Eleven, Circle K's, and places like that. If anybody happens to pass and see him, like, all their food is basically cylindrical. He can immediately flip it up in his fingers and be like, "Oh, it's just a cigar."
Run it up his sleeve or whatever.
Yeah. It's all tube-shaped food. Easy to hide, easy to digest.
So more people come out and they say that they caught him drinking Coca-Cola. He starts having lectures, and then there's like a fracture in the Breatharian movement. So
It's
like,
not even that like he like broke to eat like an apple or something.
Yeah.
Like, he broke to eat shitty 7-Eleven food.
straight fucking junk.
Yeah, he wanted a Monterey Jack and chicken taquito. That's
Yeah.
what he went for.
One of those, what are they called? The tornadoes. It's just like
It's like
a
the psychology of like you have to like hate food in order to just like you know what I mean? If thank God it wasn't some weird sex cult or something. Like at least it was just like he let everyone down by eating.
Yeah. So he was having some like event where he's giving a talk, and like half of his like followers that have broken away because they caught him eating show up and they're like protesting this thing. Some of his followers claimed that one night they observed Brooks leaving a Santa Cruz 7-Eleven with a Slurpee, a chili dog, a chicken pot pie, and Twinkies. And I just gotta say, there before the grace. I mean, hey, sometimes it's late. That sounds like a damn good meal.
My favorite part of that was that I want to know which 7-Eleven he went to because I've never been to one that has a chicken pot pie.
Yeah,
I would
well,
absolutely get that.
well, this is the 80s, so you
And
know.
it's the frozen kind.
Oh, actually, you know what? He's right. It probably is. They sell the frozen kind, and I don't know if they still do this, but back in the day, they used to have a microwave in
No,
there.
they do. They still do have
Yeah,
that.
so that's probably what it is.
I didn't even think about that. I was just like expecting it's 7-Eleven. I'm like, do they have a tube of chicken pot pie? How did I miss this?
I would also not like to eat if this was the food I consumed.
Right. It's because he has shitty taste in food.
Yeah.
And he's just like, food is bad.
Well, no, he's only got the options that are open from like midnight to 4 a.m. because he's got to
That's
hide it
true.
all.
That's right, yeah.
But it's weird because he's like in the Bay Area. I'm like, dude, go to the Mission and get a fucking taco, you weirdo. What are you doing at the
seriously.
7-Eleven?
There's so many street carts.
There's options.
I think he should have just not eaten.
But I love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like
Me
he's
too.
ducking into a Circle K the same way that a guy just puts on like a trench coat and glasses and like creepy hat to go into a porn shop.
to eat. So Brooks denied the claim, but the damage was done, and a mass mutiny soon followed, and most of his staff split away from him. Most of what happened to Wiley Brooks and the Breatharians for the rest of the 80s has been lost to history. One hint, though, came in 2013 when the actress Michelle Pfeiffer revealed that she was once a Breatharian.
Wow.
She's
Gotta look.
Probably when she filmed Scarface.
I mean,
that's about when it was too,
Yeah.
like early to mid 80s.
I mean, if you see her in that movie, how skinny she is, I wouldn't like put it past her to, yeah.
Yeah, so she said that she had been introduced to the cult by a quote-unquote very controlling couple as a young up-and-comer in Hollywood. Quotes, "I wasn't living with them, but I was there a lot, and they were always telling me I needed more, and I had to pay for all the time that I was there, and so it was financially very draining. So here's your Scientology."
This has all the parallels. You're right. This dude saw L. Ron Hubbard and was like, I'm doing my thing.
Yep.
oh yeah, this is like the heyday of cults. And I mean,
Especially now knowing that like it was in Hollywood and like all
Right.
based around here with celebrities involved, for sure he was trying to tag onto that.
Yeah.
sure. I
Well,
mean, he himself is kind of a washed-up celebrity. I mean, he's working with like Jimi
Yeah.
Hendrix and all that shit.
Yeah,
right?
well, supposedly. I mean, there's like we said, there's no proof of any of that. He's a washed-up celebrity in that he was on That's Amazing once and deadlifted.
But same
some
thing
stuff.
with like L. Ron Hubbard. He's just a washed up science fiction writer.
Right. Yeah,
Right,
there you go. Yeah. So the Breatharian Institute moved around several times over the next few years using similar grifts in Arlington, Texas, and then Bellevue, Washington. Wiley's logic shifted again in 1993 when he told the Seattle Times that he no longer believed that food was an addiction, but he believed instead that it was poison, and he believed that it could serve as medicine. What? A salve for low quality city air. So this guy's like obsessed with pollution, I think.
Well, I think some point you got to move out of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Food is poison. The air is poison. You need to move back home.
Well, he's in San Francisco, so they got slightly they got
So
more.
the food is poison, but it's also the medicine.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think he's saying you can use it to like, in the same way that you might use something that might be poisonous to cure cancer.
Kind of like how
say.
a Steve Irwin dude takes like little drops of like rattlesnake venom at a time, so in case he gets bit.
Yeah, this is the you never challenge a Sicilian when death is on the line
Yes.
scenario. Yeah. So it got even more odd and arguably less healthy at the turn of the century. In 1999, he opened a new Breatharian Institute in Santa Cruz and began teaching seminars in the Sierra Nevada mountains focused on the fountain of youth and how to obtain
This guy's
everlasting
exhausting.
life.
It's fucking. God, shut up, fella.
Right, like it started off interesting. Now it's just like, dude,
Yeah.
settle down.
Jesus.
Well, we're about to go to space. Everybody.
Did you
So
get shot out into space? Please, God.
Better fucking
Why
go to
not?
space quick here.
We've been everywhere else with Wiley Brooks. We've been on this journey.
Now, I want to hear every single stupid thing he ever said.
Oh yeah, here we go. In 2009, the official gospel of Breatharianism was again updated, this time with a convoluted explanation of how a McDonald's cheeseburger meal and a Diet Coke can help keep a breatharian healthy. In a fifth dimensional universe, apparently the base frequency of that specific meal aligns with the needs of man.
What?
So
Does he have like a certain timbre to his voice? Like, why do people listen to him at all?
No, I have no idea.
He name drops Michelle Pfeiffer, and people are like, well,
yeah. The idea of separate but interconnected 5D and 3D worlds was a major part of Wiley Brooks' ideology, and he encouraged followers to only eat those special 5D foods as well as meditate on a set of magical 5D words. So now he's like calling the McDonald's cheeseburger and Coke. He calls it an elixir of the gods, and he also at that point begins selling 32-ounce bottles of water that supposedly flow from the legendary fountain of youth and immortality in the Garden of Eden, and that costs $10,000. Which I don't think he ended up selling many. He was marketing specifically to like very stupid billionaires, which I actually am in favor of that, ripping
But
off
where
dumb
was
rich
the
people.
Garden of Eden? Like Pacoima?
Yeah, exactly.
right, wherever the home offices of McDonald's, I guess.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And here's the wind down. By the 2010s, of course, Brooks started following the trends of conspiracy belief and began decrying the Illuminati and chemtrails for making it harder to become a Breatharian. And this is like the worst.
You
when-
had your own thing, though.
You had your own goddamn thing.
You know?
Why did you lazy? You're getting lazy here, Wiley. Come on, man.
Yeah, like now he's running out of stuff. He's not creative anymore, so he's just tagging on to QAnon shit.
Yeah. He was really big on the December 21st, 2012 Mayan calendar thing.
Oh, yeah, that was a great one.
And then when it didn't happen, this was his
Harold Camping.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant man.
So when it didn't happen, this was his Facebook status from January of 2013. Greetings. The ascension to the world did happen right on schedule. But for those who did not ascend, there will be a limited amount of time or a grace period for people in the 3D Earth worlds to learn how to survive these new energies. Therefore, my immortality workshop will be extended to March 23rd, 2013. So,
It's my birthday.
oh, yeah.
Hey, happy birthday.
Never stop hustling.
You know what your birthday present's going to be this year?
I don't think this guy's selling.
Oh, yeah. Well,
breath.
well,
yeah, a box full of breath.
Yeah, that's so sweet of you. I love to breathe.
Yeah.
Well, so he's not selling much of anything. 2013 was the year that Brooks moved to Tucumcari, New Mexico, in order to set up a 9-dimensional hotel. And according to one thing I read later that year, he caught on fire and got really
Like he personally caught on fire?
He caught on fire and got pretty badly burned. And from then on, he only wore polyester and he slept in a sleeping bag to protect him from what he called the cosmic fire.
Oh God! So he caught on fire and then he just wrapped himself in a giant flammable bag.
Yeah. Well, he's got to.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Of course. He's been on drugs the whole time.
I mean,
Probably,
one it's safe to assume he died in 2016 at the age of 80. At the time of his death, his particular vision of Breatharianism was a sad fringe phenomenon with few adherents devoted to its founder, but his philosophy has spread widely enough even after his 80s downfall, with at least a dozen gurus taking up the mantle of Breatharianism.
Oh God!
So this shit is still going. Like, this dude was totally discredited, but somehow this dumbass idea continues. Like there's a lady in Australia.
What
who,
drug is it that will do this? You don't eat, but when you do find one thing you like I'd declare this to be dope as heaven, and then you burn up. Is that like a
Yeah, we
meth?
don't know how he caught on fire.
It didn't say. I was like I said.
How does it not say? How does it say all this other dumb bullshit about this
dude,
guy?
well,
Well,
yeah,
not
but
say
not-
how it catches.
It's kind of a
fire?
big detail to leave out. It's
Yeah.
like, all these things happen, and then in 2013 he caught fire anyway. Like, no, how?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, he spontaneously combusted. Like, how?
I
Was
mean-
it just his arm? Was the whole person?
Like I said, I sourced most of that from the SF Gate article, and then I got curious and found a book about scammers that had a chapter on this guy, and then it just mentioned like, oh, and he caught on fire and only wore polyester from then on.
But that's one of those things. It's like it leaves me with more questions than answers.
Oh,
like,
for sure. I
there was
couldn't find even like an obituary for this guy, so I only found out that he died at that year, but I don't know when.
I love little bits of stories like that where it just throw in something just like, and then in this part he caught fire. Like, no, there's so much more to it.
That should have been the whole story.
Like I met this
a guy caught on fire.
there's this lady I met a couple months back. We were in a group talking about issues with bank accounts, and she was like, "Oh, I got a great story about how I ended up losing my bank account and having to like restart a whole nother one." So
Yeah.
basically, I had this bank account with Bank of America, right? And like I ended up in a coma for about 8 months. So when I got out of the coma, I was trying to call them, and they were like, "You owe back." I'm like, "Wait a minute."
No way.
Don't just go straight to the bank account
Hold on.
issue.
Let's go
Like,
back.
I got it. They canceled your account because you were in a coma for 7 months, but the whole coma thing, like this is
Yeah.
what we need to talk about. Like
well,
she just skimmed over, like people go into comas.
And the most annoying thing was the bank account.
But I realized, like over the course of a couple days talking to her, that's just how she told stories. Like she told
Probably
another story
brain
because like
damage.
someone mentioned like a racist situation they were involved in. She's like, "Oh yeah, I had to
Yeah,
deal
I
with this
do a lot
racist
of
white
bad
guy.
shit."
Like I had all kinds of stuff going on with him, and he was always mean. So like this one day, the cops came after he had thrown me into a bush and threw the bicycle on top of me. Right,
Whoa.
I'm trying to climb. I'm like, what led to that? Oh my goodness! What the hell?
So I'm jumping out of a helicopter, right? And I sprained my ankle.
Jimi Hendrix did that.
Oh yeah, did he do that?
That's Jimi Hendrix joined the paratroopers when he had to sign up for the army because he was like, this is the most likely thing to get me hurt, and indeed he fucked his foot up and got discharged.
Oh, that's
Did that happen to Mama Cass too?
Yeah.
Or did she just choke on the ham sandwich?
Yeah, well, there's some of these gurus still out there. There's a lady in Australia named Ellen Grieve who goes by Jazz Muheen, and she's responsible for 5 deaths have been directly linked to Breatharianism as a response to Jazz Muheen's practices. So yeah, Wiley Brooks, legendary, just kicking it.
everything about this guy seems like he came from that period where his parents were complete drug users and like took acid while they were pregnant and had him.
Potentially.
He grew up during the acid craze and like became an adult the same time with Timothy Leary, all those guys, and then he latched on to like saw Scientology
Yeah.
and all these other
Which
like,
is Charles
and he
Manson's
kind of
path
mixed
as well.
and mashed them all together to a degree.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure this also had a little. It's why like dummy actors got like locked into it because like you can make me skinny and beautiful.
Yeah, and all I have to do is stare in the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, it seemed a lot of other people seem to be following him.
Yeah.
That's the fascinating thing to me is it's always been a thing since the beginning of Hollywood. Still to this day, it's like a celebrity says something, people don't question it. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow told me to put this thing in my hooch. Like,
Yeah,
that's not good for you. Don't listen to her.
Oh man, if I found it
but
great
she's
for me-
famous.
Yeah.
But I mean, even back to like the 30s or like Betty Davis would just be like, smoke 5 Marlboro cigarettes every day. It's healthy. It keeps you thin.
Right,
Like, yeah,
right.
I'm going to do that.
That's why I smoke like 10 a day.
You're only down to 10? That's good.
That's because Betty Davis told you to.
That's kind of like my fighting weight. It's 10 cigarettes a
You
day.
have to cut to that weight.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta
Oof.
cut.
Yeah, you gotta cut.
That's funny. Like every smoker knows how many you have to smoke to keep yourself down to just one meal for the whole day.
Uh huh. Oh, that's like to eat just one meal. It'd have to be a humongous meal and like 3 packs of cigarettes. The fact that I got COVID once is like I'm not making it to 44. The way I live.
Not unless you practice breatharianism.
That's right. Breatharianism.
Yep.
Now here is Mr. Wiley Brooks, who stopped eating 17 years ago, claiming that all the elements we need to survive are in the air and an occasional glass of fruit juice. This is called Breatharianism, and if it sounds hard to swallow, we're going to find out now from the man who knows. Would you please welcome Mr. Wiley Brooks? Here he is. Wiley, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
I want to ask you something. You haven't eaten for 17 years. You have not had a sandwich, a hamburger, hot dog, pretzel, a piece of roast beef, fish, vegetables, nothing for 17 years.
Right. Well, let me explain what breatharianism is first, if I might. Breatharianism is a philosophy that believes that the human body, when it's in perfect harmony with itself and nature, is a perfect breatharian. Now, all of the constituents that we need is taken from the air we breathe. And the fact is, there is only one thing that keeps the human body alive, and that is breathing. The food that we take is the same as any other thing we take into the body. Eating is an acquired habit, just like drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes. First, you must kick the habit of eating. You see what we've done? Yes, that's right.
Our listeners have written in at the Goods Pod on Twitter with their top 3 wanting to hear on various topics from us. First up, our friend at CS_Tim Boston. That is Cold Stone Tim Boston. He is a professional wrestler out of Omaha, Nebraska, and he wants to know top 3 movie spies. I'm going to go first. I wrote down my top 3. I was trying to avoid James Bond, trying to avoid the obvious. If people want to include that, that's obviously got to be kind of a number 1, considering that's the genre. But
no, it doesn't.
No,
that's
you don't
subjective.
think so?
Everything's
okay,
subjective.
that's fair enough. Yeah, I just think that there's 40 plus James Bond movies.
Yeah,
so
but most of them suck dick.
that's
But
a
you
that's a
pick
good point.
Specific James Bond too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, so I was going to say number 3, ex-Special Forces operator and CIA agent Brian Mills, a.k.a. Liam Neeson in Taken. Now there.
He's a spy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's right.
He has a very
specific set of skills.
Specific
That's right.
set of skills. That is a perfect movie. You talk about an action movie without an ounce of fucking fat on it. It is cut as shit.
Dude, I've still never seen it.
You never seen Taken? Oh
No,
my
I've
god!
still never seen Taken.
It's a breezy watch. It's fun as hell. It never stops being fun watching a guy who's in his 60s beat the shit out of 20-year-olds.
I saw Wolf Taken. I saw The Gray.
Oh yes, yeah, Wolf Taken.
Dude,
Hell
Wolf
yeah.
Taken rules. He fucks those wolves up.
Hell yeah, bro. You've seen Taken, right, Rez?
Yes.
Okay, all right. See, that's a fun one. I was trying to go deep. I was thinking, all right, what are our spies here? Number 2, got to go with the comedy here. That would be Osborne Cox, which is John Malkovich's character in Burn After Reading.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Which I went back and rewatched about 2 weeks ago, and that movie it is aging like a fine wine because the whole point of that movie is that everyone in the government is a fucking moron and has no idea what anyone else is doing at any time. And when I saw when it first came out, I was like, man, that's pretty dark. It's that none of this meant anything, and these people are just absolutely expendable to these larger powers. And now you watch it, and you're like, yeah, that's about right. In fact, they didn't go hard enough.
It's their first wacky comedy post No Country for Old Men.
That's right.
That's just, I mean, they've been nothing but straight pessimistic since that movie.
Yeah, well, and even that movie, boy, it's kind of funny because it's like almost a reverse of Big Lebowski, where the characters, instead of just being thrown into this crazy crime scheme,
Right.
The dumbasses, the Walter and Lebowski characters are now like actively trying to blackmail John Malkovich, and they're
Right.
just terrible at it. So I don't know. It's
Very fun movie.
His 2 scenes, the one over the phone and the one in the car with Brad Pitt, are 2 of the funniest comedy
Oh,
scenes
I'm bigger.
ever.
I'm better. I'm back. You fuckers. That's the best part.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the whole movie.
And also when they demote him, and he says, "I have a drinking problem." Fuck you, Peck. You're a Mormon. Next to you, we all have a drinking problem. It's fucking.
I always like the thing too where he juts his arms out and he goes, "This is a fucking crucifixion."
Yeah,
It's not. Yeah, that shit's great.
I can watch John Malkovich do anything, but just him indignant for 2 straight hours is just choice.
Yeah, that was good.
And then speaking of choice, I mean, number 1, if we're not going Bond, gotta go motherfucking Ethan Hunt. Fucking
yeah.
Tom Cruise. I might just still be on a high from Top Gun 2 because that was.
No spoilers. I haven't seen
I'm not
it yet.
spoiling shit. No,
wanna see it.
believe me. I
Very
know.
excited.
All I'll say
They
is
all
that
died.
Yeah.
Here's
Wait,
the big
Goose
spoiler.
dies?
yeah. Goose
Here's
is
a big spoiler.
Still dead.
Tom Cruise does a bunch of insane shit with a close-up GoPro on his face, so it was him doing it.
Yeah.
I have heard that he does all of his because I mean, and that's what makes these new Mission Impossible movies rules because he does all of his own stunts.
That's why everybody wants to go see him now because they want to see Tom Cruise swing on a rope and then climb into a fucking flying F-14 and pilot that shit.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. He is the Jesus of Hollywood. He is going to die one of these days, so movies can live.
Well, he's more like the what do you call it, Thanos or whatever whatever the Scientologists worship of Hollywood.
Oh yeah. Well, he's evil.
He is the high priest of Scientology. He is Xenu. That's right. Yeah, the Xenu.
Yeah. But he's like Evil Knievel at this point. Like you go to see a stunt show with this, it's.
I mean, it rules.
Oh, fuck yeah! And that
the
movie,
Mission Impossible movies now are better than the first couple ones.
Yeah, and no pun intended. They landed that plane fucking perfect. I was like, great, no notes, fun ass movie, really good. So anyway, Mission Impossible, fucking Ethan Hunt, man, gotta go with that. They showed they haven't even finished filming that movie yet, I don't think, and they showed a preview for it for next summer. Like, and I was watching, I was like, oh, is this about to come out? And it was like 2023. I was like, fuck, but I'm real hyped for that.
Dude is about to be 60.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he just turned 60,
and he looks 30 years younger than me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got the lines creeping in though. In Top Gun, you're definitely like,
there's a lot of like ground up like baby that's injected into his face. Scientology center. Don't get me wrong.
He's a tiny man.
Yeah, he's a little guy. He's a little guy.
Not coincidentally, in The Color of Money and shit, he's on track to be that like Paul Newman of just like craggy old like sexy guy still somehow. Like I think he's on that track, but he's got to
Paul Newman in Road to Perdition, hot.
Yeah, hell yeah, dog.
Hot.
Yeah. Reza, do you got your top 3 spies?
But number 3 one, I would go with Jason Bourne.
Oh shit! Yeah, god damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Fuck,
that's a solid spy right there.
Yeah.
He did some awesome shit.
What's your favorite one?
The first one, honestly,
first
out
one
of all of them is my favorite because that's where it all started and had like the whole Jason Bourne identity and the identity of the movies kind of came together.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
And then number 2 on my list is I forget the name of the movie, but the one where Rowan Atkinson was a spy. Johnny English is my second one.
Johnny
for sure.
English.
Okay, yeah.
That's my second choice. And
Love
my third
Mr.
choice,
Bean,
I'm going a little bit off the rails. It's not a movie; it's from a TV show, but it would be The Question from Justice League United.
What is that?
Justice League United. Okay.
The Question is a comic book character from Charlton that eventually DC bought out, but he's basically like their main detective spy character. He's kind of like an old school like noir detective. And he has no face so that you can never know who he is. But he's always been the most brilliant like spy detective character in the DC world.
Hell yeah.
And you know me, a comic book guy, I'm going to go with The Question for sure.
All right.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I'm a comic book guy myself.
What you got, Sam?
Well, the obvious number 3 is Frankie Muniz as Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah,
solid,
dude. I probably said this on the show. I saw him at Panda Express one time.
What?
Yeah. and I had to confirm because I was looking at him. I was like, it's fucking gotta be him, right? But he had like a bunch of tattoos on his forearm. So I like Google searched him real quick and I saw the tattoos. I was like, that is him. That is him.
Was he in between 2 other people?
He seemed kind of miffed, at the time it was taking to get the noodles out because he wanted the half and half.
Well, that was a dumb in the middle reference.
Yeah.
And then, God, what's Leslie Nielsen's name?
Spy Hard.
Spy Hard, dude.
Are you talking about Frank Drebin?
I was going to say
that's a Naked Gun, but
I was going to say the Naked Gun movies because he does go undercover.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
But the number 1, very obvious number 1.
Okay.
Val Kilmer. Nick Rivers, Top Secret.
Oh,
Top Secret, dude. I love that movie.
Damn, I haven't seen that movie.
A great pull.
It's so funny, dude.
Damn,
yeah,
I need to rewatch Top Secret.
Oh, man.
Sharif.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's so funny.
Slept
it's still
on,
so
dude.
funny.
Him inside
so
that
funny.
car cube is one of the greatest scenes of all time.
Yeah,
dude, the Zaz brothers couldn't do no wrong at
That's
that
what
point.
you guys take away from this episode. Watch Top Secret.
Watch Top Secret.
Watch Airplane, Top Secret, and Naked Gun and tell me those aren't the 3 funniest movies.
Yes.
Oh man, I was watching Naked Gun the other night and I was like stoned out of my mind. I just had it on the background. I was looking at my phone, kind of just like forgot what I was watching. I look up, a man walking down the street gets attacked by a lion. and I just out loud I go, oh my gosh. And then I realized I was watching Naked Gun and that was supposed to happen. That's very normal for that movie.
What you got, Carter?
Oh, Jesus. Antonio Banderas and Ballistic X versus.
Man, did you actually see that movie?
I played the game on
PS2?
Game Boy.
Oh, Game Boy.
And there was a game that was fun, and I never saw the movie.
Okay.
But I really love the poster.
Dude, that is genuinely one of the stupidest movies I've ever
It
seen.
is. It is atrocious.
The follow-up to that isn't Salt.
I would say the follow-up is going to be Cedric the Entertainer and Codename the Cleaner.
Oh, man. You're throwing fucking heavies over here.
These are heavies.
I love this.
And then finally, the number one spy of all time is Jackie Chan in the Tuxedo.
Damn, I'm surprised no one went Austin Powers.
I was gonna. Well, my real three are boring.
I don't know why that made me
It's-
think of Michael J. White and Black Dynamite.
Oh,
Dude,
shit,
yeah,
that's
dude.
a great movie.
Yeah. Real three. Harry Call from The Conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Great movie. Austin Powers is second.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then James Bond is number one.
James Bond.
Yeah,
Okay,
of
thank
course
you.
James Bond is number
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Timothy Dalton, of course.
Dude, saw him at a Trader Joe's. I swear to God, I saw Timothy Dalton at Trader Joe's, and I was like to Carly, I was like, "That's Timothy Dalton." She's like, "Who?" And I'm like, he's a James Bond." She's like, "Who?" And then I went up to the cashier. I was like, "I'm sorry, was that Timothy Dalton just now?" And she's like, "The English guy?"
Yeah.
And I was like, he used to be James Bond. He's like, he's kind of a dick.
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah,
can't take that away from the Living
Oh.
Daylights, baby, to
Man.
live and let die.
Right?
He was James Bond.
Let's do it. All right, we got Frankie Muniz at Panda Express. We got Timothy Dalton at Trader Joe's.
Saw Jay Leno to Wendy's.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What do you got, Russ?
I can go basic, which was Easy E at the AMC theaters in Thousand Oaks.
Holy
Whoa,
shit.
dude.
Or I can go real deep with it and say Richard Simmons at his house in his living room with amazing story, like a backstory to it.
Whoa.
easy
Holy
all
shit.
day
Yeah,
over that one.
goddamn.
The Richard Simmons story, if we have time, it is absolutely insane.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah,
Oh.
give us the
All right, I'll try to keep it as brief as I can, but essentially what happened, I was at the Liquid Zoo mic one night a few years back.
everything happens
All,
another-
there.
all good stories start there.
Yeah,
Of course. Another comic I was friends with was doing a PA work on a documentary shoot, and it was a documentary about the city of New Orleans, and they were interviewing Simmons because he happened to live there growing up.
Yeah.
So jokingly, I was like, "Hey, do you need another PA or something?" He's like, "Actually, yeah, we do. If you want, I'll hit up the director, tell him you're coming with me tomorrow." I'm like, "Yes, I want to go with you to Richard Simmons' house."
Yeah.
So I ended up just kind of weaseling my way onto this documentary shoot as a PA. So literally the next day, I'm at Richard Simmons' house, and as we pull up, I'm helping everybody, like the crew, bring equipment and stuff inside. And I go to set down a bunch of equipment. I turn around and I'm staring kind of face to face with Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
How old is he at this point?
This was like maybe 6 or so years ago, 7
Okay.
years ago. And
Before that fucking podcast started bothering the man.
Yeah, before he got reclusive and went under.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck off.
So I turn around and we're staring at each other kind of face to face. And he puts his hand on my cheek and like starts kind of singing and like
Well, yeah.
he pulls a harmonica out of his pocket and he starts playing a harmonica while he has his hand on my cheek.
Oh
At the time, like I still have it, but at the time I used to wear this miniature harmonica on a necklace and I had it on me. So I picked that up and start playing harmonicas with him.
Whoa.
And we're having a
Oh my
harmonica
God.
jam.
This is like a dream, like a lucid dream.
Yeah.
It gets better. Like the rest of the crew sees it. A couple of them bust out their phones. So he's like, "Oh, no recording." So he stops doing it and puts his harmonica down. And he looks at me and goes, "I could tell you're a smoker. I could smell it on you. Come with me." Grabs me by the hand, takes me into his kitchen, opens one of his kitchen drawers, and it's just full of nothing but unopened Tic Tac boxes. Just a bunch of empty Tic Tac boxes. Hands me one of them, and then starts to read my aura in his kitchen. Literally makes me stand there, starts reading my aura, telling me what colors I am and all this stuff. I'm like, this is absolutely
what
insane.
colors?
Yeah.
I was like, I believe it was green and purple.
Okay.
I don't know what
I like
those
those.
mean, but I thought
Incredible
green was
Hulk.
good.
Yeah. That's what that means.
It's almost Mardi
I'm like, I
Gras
smoke weed.
colors.
I'll take the green. That's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And purple weed, I
Prince
suppose.
is cool. I like weed. Yeah. Hell
so, like,
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Purple weed, dude.
As he's reading my aura, the director comes and tells him they're getting ready for him, and he's like, "We've got a few minutes before he has to be interviewed."
Sure.
So he sees me looking at a couple of things, and he's like, "Here, let me show you around." Again, takes me by the hand, starts walking me around his house, and explaining the backstory of all of his porcelain slave statues.
Oh my God.
He had a bunch of porcelain statues of like black slaves all over the place and these amazing china cabinets. And somebody asked me, like, is Richard Simmons gay? I'm like, no straight man has that many porcelain statues tastefully decorating their home.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I'm like, this is amazing. And he had a giant one of those like art dolls that you pose for drawing, but it was life size and it was covered in head to toe from rhinestones. And he was like, each one of these rhinestones is someone I've helped over the years, and telling me the backstory of this. Director comes and gets him to do the interview. So they go do that, like maybe 30 minutes or so pass by. They all say thank you and ask for a picture with him. And I'm like, I'm not part of the crew. I'll take the picture for them. Sure. So I offer to take the photo. And jokingly, Richard Simmons is like, oh, I see what you're doing. You want to take the picture so that afterwards me and you can have one by ourselves. I'm like, well, yeah, now. Of course we're doing that.
Sure, yeah.
So I take their picture, they walk off, and he's like, come here, come stand with me. And he literally makes everyone else leave and just has me and him next to each other. I'm like, hey, Richard, can we take the picture over there in the big hand chair?
Right.
He had a giant tie-dyed hand as a chair.
Hell yeah, of course.
And it was in front of one
It's
of
like
his...
a Clockwork Orange house. Like, you know what I mean?
The chair was in front of one of his cabinets full of like porcelain statues. So I'm like, I want to take a picture with you in that chair in front of the statues, and you sitting in it and me over your shoulders with my hands on your shoulders like we're posing as rich white people for a painting to go above our mantle. He took that exact picture for me, and it's the greatest picture I've ever taken in my life.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
So after we do that, like I'm helping the crew wrap up, and I realized this whole time I was there, I never said my name to him. Just this stuff just started happening.
Sure.
So I was like, I want to at least introduce myself properly and say thank you for this weird experience.
Yeah.
As we go to leave, he's leaving too, and he goes to the car that he's got a driver, opens the back door for him to get in the back seat. I turn to say thank you, and I reach my hand out to shake his hand. He bats my hand away, grabs me by the hips, pulls me in close, kisses me on the cheek, like very lovingly, just like...
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to tell me the reason why he felt so connected and close to me and the whole time he wanted to be around me is because me and him were married in a past life.
Okay.
Get to the part where he started blowing you.
At a certain point, I thought to myself, like, am I going to have to fuck Richard Simmons? Like, all right, at least I'll get in the hot tub with him, maybe give him a handy for the story.
I mean,
Like,
it's his house.
I'm not gay, but I am a comic. I'll go as far as for the story.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Wow.
But he's telling me this story about like we used to be married. He was my loving wife during colonial times. We had 3 beautiful children together. I would go out and plow the fields, and like it was insane.
Damn.
Wow.
As he's
Like that,
telling
you keep trying to close the door.
All right. Airplanes coming soon, Rich.
as he's telling me this, I'm trying to keep a straight face, but he's like holding me tighter and tighter, and he's getting emotional, like tears. He's coming,
boy.
like
Oh my
legit
God.
crying, and he's like, "We loved each other so much." And apparently, he died during childbirth of our 4th child. And now, like, I was so heartbroken, and now this is us finally reconnecting in our current lives with each other. And again, before I had a chance to say anything, he leans back, like slides in the backseat of the car, reaches his hand out, and just goes, "Don't say anything. Don't question this. Just take it with you." And the driver closes the door, and they take off. I'm wrapping my head around this, and I'm just like, fuck. Again, I never got a chance to even tell him my name. Within minutes of that happening, my phone starts beeping, and like, Richard Simmons is now following you on Twitter. Richard Simmons just sent you a message on Twitter. Richard Simmons just sent you another message on Twitter. I'm
Whoa.
like, how the fuck did he find me? Reza Asgari is not just like an easy name to guess.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm like, maybe we were connected in a former life. Like, holy shit. And then for the next like 8 months to a year, we just became like best friends on Twitter. Like, we would talk literally daily.
No shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, this was all before he just
Damn.
kind of went reclusive. Like, I would talk to Richard Simmons almost on a daily basis.
Wow.
Shit.
That story is fucking... When you said started at Liquid Zoo, I was like,
I was like,
well, this story's going
like a whole-
nowhere.
There's a whole mini series that goes with
fucking
it.
nuts.
One of the most insane things that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
oh my God.
Would you ever have conceived that happening to you? Ellen?
No,
Right?
not one. I could not have pictured any one of those things happening that day.
Sure.
Wow. Oh.
And all I wondered is like when he got in the backseat of the car, what if in reality he's just like this hardcore Jersey bro and he turns to the driver and he's like, this fucking asshole thought we were married and shit. Look at this fucking jerk off.
He was about to cry and shit. Look at him.
He believed it all.
It's a good thing I was kidding.
It was unreal. It's like anytime, and if people didn't believe me, I'm like, watch this. I bust out my phone and just send him a quick message, and within like seconds to minutes, I get a message back. You're like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I was totally doing this. You didn't hit me up today. I'm like, see? Richard Simmons is my pal.
Like 3 a.m. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I was just remembering our
Don't wake
past
daddies.
marriage. Do you remember that time we kissed under the moonlight?
Shit.
I honestly wanted to know more. I'm like, please tell me more about
Me
us
too.
being a married couple.
Me too. That's so bizarre.
Let's get him on the pod.
Yeah,
folks.
shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm going deep into my folder to find that picture.
Yeah,
Dude,
need
yeah.
it for the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Send it to us and we'll put it up on our Twitter at the Goods Pod so people can see that. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, it's coming.
It's an amazing story.
Hell
What's
yeah.
great is in the picture, he was already kind of worn down at that point, and his hair was a certain way where every time I show it to someone without telling them the story first, they're like, why'd you get a weird picture with Pauly Shore? It looks just like him.
Yeah, we got time for one more top 3. This one is from our friend, our resident chemist, who weighs in on all the weird shit we've been drinking at Andy_Vandy 2012. Top 3 bands or artists with preposterous names.
When you say, what does that mean?
Just like the most like
Crazy names.
ridiculous
Okay.
names for an artist. So I put together bands that I actually like, or at least kind of like, with number 3 being String Cheese Incident. Terrible name. Terrible fucking name. But,
Yeah.
they're pretty fun as far as new grass goes. Huh?
I was gonna say terrible band too.
That's fair enough. I'll take that. Number 2, Butthole Surfers. Very preposterous name, but fun.
Preposterous name. Very. They got some good songs. They did. They pushed some buttons in the field of noise rock. I like Locust Abortion Technician.
Hell yeah.
Great album name too.
And then number 1, a band I absolutely love, but boy, what a stupid name. The New Pornographers. Fucking
That is a dumb name.
yeah,
That's a
but
dumb name.
man, what a Nico Case, AC Newman, fucking Dan Behar, just a collection of killers. But boy, it is embarrassing to be like, oh, who are you seeing tonight? The New Pornographers. That's who I'm going.
It's got kind of a
It's like-
literary quality to it.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, are they like some like hardcore edgy band? It's like, nope, indie rock from Canada. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my top 3. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with Chameleonaire,
Okay, yeah.
Such a stupid
the
name.
rapper Chameleonaire. It's a
Yeah.
really-
Honestly, the
really-
rap genre, there's just
There's
such a
the crazy.
plethora to choose
I'm
from.
going with a lot.
yeah.
I'm going with rappers on this one. A good name that's also bad: Kingpin Skinny Pimp.
That sounds like they just reached into a bag of rap names, picked out 3.
God, I'm trying to. Those were the 2 ones that had stuck out in my head for most. Kingpin Skinny Pimp is one of the just all-time craziest rap names.
Yeah. Oh, there's one rapper that sticks out in my head real big time for a preposterous name.
What's that?
Waka Flocka Flame.
Waka
Yeah.
Flocka.
It's never not funny to say it, you know.
Da baby. He's not a baby. That's preposterous.
That's I was actually considering saying the baby.
Babies can't be homophobic.
A little anyone really with baby or Lil in the name is
Lil Boosie. That's
Lil
another
Boosie,
one.
Lil Wayne, all the Lils. It's like drop the Lil.
Lil Wayne's legitimately short. I think Boozy did drop the Lil Boozy. He goes by
Boozy Badass.
Boosie Badass, yeah.
Yeah, well, he got
yeah.
that ramen noodle money, you know. Which those are
He had some hilarious videos. His son had a child, but then it came out the child wasn't his. And Boozy just put a lot of celebratory videos up of him just being like, I told you.
Wait, how old is Boozy?
He's old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
All right.
He just made his own Maury, like "You Are Not the
Yeah.
Father" video.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
just made him not a grandpa.
Okay.
You know, he was a grandpa until that moment.
Okay, gotcha. what you got, Rez?
The first one that just stuck out in my head was a combination of the three because I couldn't decide was Insane Clown Posse,
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jimmy Eat World,
Violent J and Shaggy Two
yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. Without
Bad
and then
names.
30 Seconds to Mars. I don't know
Oh,
why that
God.
bothers me so much.
I fucking just Jared Leto's the worst. So yeah.
The other one that always stuck out, I know it's a band that you actually like, which was Chumbawamba.
Oh yeah, sure.
What
yeah.
a stupid name. Yeah.
Chumbawamba has always just been dumb as hell to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do like
And then
their Irish folk album is quite good.
The one I picked for my number one under rap names, which you could have actually just went with anything other than your actual name, which was Keith Murray.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, it just to me in the rap world, like Keith Murray doesn't give me that vibe. But the
Yeah.
dude was dope as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think the thing about Keith Murray is he was a real no gimmicks rapper.
Yeah.
I think he was
Yeah.
a real like I'll beat you up if you disrespect me rapper. So he can get
Which
away
he
with.
did.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
he spent most of his career in jail.
Keith Murray would beat your ass.
But now there is the trend of people just saying, like rappers who just have their names: Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Denzel Curry,
Travis
Vince Staples,
Scott, like, all
Travis
these-
Scott. Yeah, it's just their names. Like,
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's not
more
his real
common.
name.
Travis Scott?
I don't
Yeah.
think it
oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah, I think that is a pseudonym.
Well, either way, using just regular names.
Right, yeah.
But then
Mike
there's-
Jones.
Mike Jones.
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
But then there's still like 42 Doug and all the ones
Sure.
that are crazy.
But I
Young Thug,
want to
yeah.
give a special honorable mention to one of my favorite rap names of all time, which is Titty Boy.
Titty
Oh,
Boy. Yeah,
That's one of the greatest.
Yes. The first time I ever watched the show Most Expensivest with my girlfriend, I didn't know 2 Chainz was the host. And he comes walking out. I'm like, oh shit, it's Titty Boy. And she looked at me and was like, you're a fucking asshole. That's not real. I pulled up his Wikipedia page. I'm like, boom.
It
Titty
seems
boy.
fake.
What you got, Carter?
3 worst. I'm going to give some honorable mentions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just 2 metal band names.
Sure, yeah.
Because metal band, it's too easy to pick a metal band name
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they all have the worst names ever. I mean, the obvious one, Anal Cunt.
Yep.
We
Oh, like
got
the deep metal bands.
deep metal bands.
There-
Let's see, there's one called Anal Vomit. There's all,
Yep.
Begging for Incest. There's what we got. There's a couple more. Oh, Dying Fetus.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
sure.
an evocative name. But all right, I'm gonna get to my real top 3 worst band names of all time.
Yeah.
Number 3, great band, dumbest name ever, Diarrhea Planet.
Oh, yeah. I remember getting their record at Weagle.
Nashville band, incredible band.
Yeah.
But yeah, Diarrhea Planet was their name.
Oof.
Yeah, it's no good. Second worst band name. It's a band. It pissed me off. They were called The.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how fucking lazy.
Dude.
Pick a name. Like,
You were giving me such flashbacks to being a music director at a college radio station because we would get shit like Test Icicles.
Right.
And the one I remember was there was one called Ackroyd.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Get fucked all the way.
Oh yeah. I tied for second is Dale Earnhardt Jr. Fuck you.
That's kind of funny.
I feel like that's where I should have went is independent like band names.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're absolutely right.
There-
Those are just
There was a hardcore band that was not very good, but I love their name. They were Duran.
Which is funny.
That's
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
And the worst band name ever is Hoopastank.
Oh god.
It is the worst.
Oh my god! I actually used to help one of the band members draw flyers for their shows locally in our art class. We went to
Whoa.
fucking art class together.
What? You went
Yes.
to art class with Hoopa
I went to art class with one of the guitar players from Hoobastank. Yeah.
It's just like it's such an egregiously bad name. You don't even want to know like the history of. Like you don't want to know what, like Limp Bizkit's like, oh, you come on a biscuit and you eat it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I don't want to know what a Hoopastank is.
It's like
I'm almost mad at myself. I didn't think of that. That was a good choice.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Side note: best band name of all time
Uh,
is this. It's an electronic musician from the '90s. They're called Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine.
yeah.
Swear to God, real band.
Yeah.
Incredible name.
But like when you said the like, it made me think of like the newer artists, like that chick that just goes by her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should call yourself impossible to Google.
Yeah, the.
the or the exclamation points, the chick that
Oh, that pisses me off too.
Yeah.
And I like that band, but it's
Yeah.
like
Come
you
on.
try to pronounce the name. It's like you try to get me to come to the show. Then
One of my favorites that I wish was a real thing was from The Simpsons. They'd had a rat cover band, but their name was also Rat with 3 T's.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, we used to get shit like Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos.
Good band.
We
Really
are
good.
scientists. We were promised
we are
jetpacks. Like
We
just
were promised Jetpacks is a good band.
That's so-
And they have the shittiest name, but we were, it's
red jumpsuit apparatus.
That should be a giveaway you do for like Goods from the Wood stuff for your listeners. Honestly, you'd be like, here's a list of 5 band names. Tell me which 2 are actually real.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do the long band name and it be good. Like, I love the Austin band, and You'll Know Us by the Trail of Dead. This is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Sure, name's too long though. Come on.
Names, well, they shortened it to Trail of Dead.
Trail of Dead, yeah.
Just Trail of Dead, but
that's much better.
And it begins with an ellipsis. Like, how pretentious is that shit? But yeah, I'm just looking. Oh man, there's so. Oh god, I forgot to mention Gorky's Zygotic Mincy. That's a shitty one.
How could you forget?
Those aren't even words.
Go mainstream and be like Coldplay.
Yeah.
Coldplay is pretty lame.
10,000 Maniacs.
Oh,
10,000. Yeah, I pulled up this list. It's got some pretty good ones. The one band's called The Farts with a Z.
Okay, I like that. I
like the style of that one. G-Love and the Special Sauce. Ooh, I hate that name.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
I'm feeling that one. If they're a funk band, I'm all for that.
No,
Okay.
well,
Okay.
it's a guy who does remixes with Jack Johnson, so they're like
They're kinda
surfer
jammy.
jam band.
Honestly, in my head, I give them credit because I hear G Love and the Special Sauce. The intro to every one of their songs is just boom.
but yeah, it does that. But then you have Jack Johnson going, sweeping the floors, gotta turn off the lights, getting ready for the night. Here comes the music.
We forgot the worst band name of all time. Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's
yeah.
the worst one.
Gross.
I mean, yeah, there's so many bad ones. That was a good question.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you to Dr. Andy Vandy for that question. And
Quick honorable mention: what could be a mediocre band name actually got elevated to like legendary status by Patrick Stewart saying it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Salt and Pepper!
oh, yeah, sure.
Pepper!
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Daniel Craig. Ladies and gentlemen, The Weekend. And he seems so just...
He's blown away and relieved by that the weekend is about to play.
He's so happy.
You could tell he had no idea. And he was like, I'm above this. Why am I introducing this guy?
He's like, I am a good actor, though, so I will try my best to act like I love The Weekend.
Oh, that's still back to, Hoobastank. That's one of my favorite SNL monologue jokes when Zach Galifianakis is introducing whoever it's actually supposed to be. He's like, we got a great show. Hoobastank is here. And then he looks at a card. He's like, oh, wait, never mind. It's, whoever
That's
it is.
honestly one of the things I love about growing up in LA is those weird connections.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
you mentioned Hoobastank, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I used to draw flyers for random shows in shitty bars in Reseda. Like the lead singer of fucking Linkin Park was like my brother's best friend growing up through
No
high
shit,
school.
Chester Bennington?
No, Shinoda.
Shinoda, no shit, dude.
Yeah, we used to hang out at his house. They would play Bonk's Adventure together on his TurboGrafx.
Whoa.
Literally, like one of the first beats I ever wrote lyrics to was a Mike Shinoda beat, and I still have one of his old cards that says Bedroom Studios.
Whoa, dude.
shit.
It was
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, it's the weirdest connections.
So you grew up in Fort Minor.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the reason was you.
What was funny is like he loved it, but he was never like that big into writing rhymes and being a rapper until he started hanging out more with me and our buddy Chris. And he was big into East Coast hip hop. Like he introduced me to Wu-Tang and a lot of other guys.
Oh, shit,
So
yeah.
Shinoda would sit with us and like write shit too. And like it was weird because at the time we were like the bar that he would try to reach. Like we were the dope rappers that he was trying to emulate. So I'm just like, so when Linkin Park first came out, I had never listened to any of their stuff. A buddy of mine played it. He's like, you got to hear this group, man. This dude's like the lead singer sounds a lot like you. Like his style is very similar to yours.
Huh.
And when I heard it, I'm like, that voice sounds familiar. I looked at the cover, saw the name. I was like, oh, well, of course, that's why, because we used to write together.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Nice.
That shit tripped me out. I'm like, well, there goes that friendship. Never going to see him again.
He owes you a check, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, what was really nice though was like maybe 6-7 years after they had blown up, he did a radio interview with another buddy of mine from school who hosts a radio show in like the Central Coast area. And just for shits and giggles during the interview, he happened to ask him if he remembered me and my brother. And he's like, oh yeah, if I can remember those guys, and like told him a couple stories about hanging out with us. I'm like,
Oh, no shit.
that is super dope that he actually does still remember and like remember it in a good light.
Yeah.
So it's like if we ever happen to run into each other, it'd be nice that he actually still knows who the hell I am.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, shout out to Dr. Andy Vandy. Shout out to Cold Stone Tim Boston for writing in those questions.
This is an assault. I have a drinking problem. Fuck you, Peck. You're a Mormon.
Ozzy.
Next to you, we all have a drinking problem. What the fuck is this? Whose ass didn't I kiss? Huh? Let's be honest. Okay. Let us be fucking honest. This is a crucifixion. This is political. And don't tell me it's not. I have a drinking problem.
Fellas, we have time for just one more segment. Of course, this is the Jam of the Week. Oh, it's summertime, fellas. Baseball season is here.
Glory days.
Yeah, that's right. God damn it. We're selling used cars this weekend. Come on down to Mike Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury. This is Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, man, the drunk dad quotient on this one's going to be up through the roof.
Oh, yeah. and the sheer irony, because Bruce Springsteen, of course, writes songs like this, makes them sound peppy and fun, and much like Born in the USA, the album that this is off of, you read the lyrics and you're like, oh, he's totally shitting on people that love their glory days. Like,
right, yeah.
This is not a fun song. This is about losers, you know?
Right.
This is the song for every patriotic American who lives the Al Bundy life.
Yes.
Any chance they get, they talk about 4 touchdowns in a single game.
Polk High School. That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, this is a great album, 1984, Born in the USA. And of course, like we always do, we're going to dip down into the YouTube comments for Bruce Springsteen's Glory Days. That's right. Here we go. First up, Roy Materi from 1 month ago. I'm 70. I played this song at the pool, and all these young girls came over to me and asked me what Glory Days were. I told them. I was like, you mean you were ejected from this pool? Yeah. You were asked to leave for being creepy.
And the totally true thing of a bunch of young girls came over to you and asked you what Glory Days are?
Yeah. Like, oh,
that happened for sure.
Oh, look at this old guy. What if we asked him what Glory Days were? What would happen?
Crazy. Should we do it? Let's ask him what Glory Days are.
I think what actually happened is they asked him what the song Glory Days is, and he said, they want to know about my Glory Days, and just started talking about his life nonsense.
Yeah. And slowly slid his hand down in his pants while he did it. Next up, Lee Wee Tack from 1 month ago.
All one word?
No, 3 words. Lee Wee Tack from 1 month ago. For those who have Glory Days to remember, you did great. Bravo. Have a drink and a high five. It's like, all right, here we go. Oh,
all right, that's a mildly. That's Dad about
he's
3.
He's had a beer and a half.
Yeah, well,
he's had 3. He's cracking another one.
Well, what I waited to tell you is he's spelling the word have HV. For those that HV Glory Days to remember, you did great. HV a drink and a high five.
Maybe he's remembering his own HPV Glory Days.
There we go. Maybe.
He's texting and driving as he's like siren, like lights are showing, blue lights are behind his car, and he texted that.
He's just creeped out a bunch of girls in a pool, and now he's on the run.
Happy Glory Days. Have a drink. Have a good time. I'm going to jail.
I'm going to jail.
I'm going to go to jail.
Michael Olowski from 6 years ago. Glory Days. Bottom line, it all comes down to drinking. Listen to those lyrics about the drinking. Yeah!
This is my get fucked up anthem.
That's every one of these. That's always just like, man, you want to ask me what song I get fucked up to? Probably whatever bullshit's playing on. I didn't even look at what song this was.
Is anyone else but me like surprised that all of these comments so far haven't ended with "Go Junior"?
I'm sure they're in there. They have to be in there.
Hard Life from 8 months ago.
Hard Life.
Oh, this will be good.
Dancing in the dark, numb nuts, ba ba ba, beating my mita. I'll be beating my mita, baby, ba 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 ba, beating my mita. I'll be beating my mita, baby. Thank you very much. Hard Life, Muldew.
That guy's in jail right now for doing exactly that at a YMCA.
Every one of these people was arrested in a pool recently.
That's like
he's yelling that in a drunk tank. And like, shut up in there, beating my mita.
Next up, Chris Simmons from 1 year ago. This is everyone singing this during Bitch 19. which is what he's
That's
calling
clever.
COVID-19.
Instead of COVID-19, it's bitch 19.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
right.
that was just the 19th girl he had dated.
Yeah. He didn't even go COVID-19.
Right?
He called it just bitch 19.
Bitch 19. I mean, we're talking about a top-notch wit here, you know?
Yeah.
Your level of imagination after your 12th PBR is only so much.
Tectonic from 10 years ago. This is why teenagers these days should stop being such dickheads. What will they have to reflect upon in their 50s and 60s? How they beat up someone, stole, robbed, disrespected that person?
This guy definitely just got beat up.
This guy was saying something fucking not nice to a girl at a pool, and a fucking their teenage boyfriend decked him one.
Or he probably looked over both his shoulders and then said something racist and didn't notice the black guy.
Yeah, there you go.
That more so sounds
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, that's about what that sounds
Yeah,
like.
and he's like, they're all playing the knockout game. Like, nope, just because you said that. We've got a returning champion. This is Lucy Anna Nixon, who was featured in the Kenny Rogers The Gambler one. This is the New Zealand
You should
biker.
call these repeat offenders.
Yeah. Well, she's the New Zealand biker gang chick who was up in those comments. This one's from 1 month ago, though. Thanks, Uncle Randall. I knew we could come to an agreement over the disrespect shown to my brother's family while in Wanganui.
Fuck you, Lucy. Stay on topic.
Because my Bulldog soldiers and Waka armies have most definitely not seen the back of their glory days. Go Team New Zealand, VIP, gold class accommodation, home office.
Oh, so she's from New Zealand.
Yeah,
The holy fuck was she talking about?
Oh, okay.
I feel like she's one of those people that uses YouTube comments to communicate with her family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we get a lot of those. Yeah.
We got a couple more here. Lost in Space from 3 months ago. When this song came out and I was young and in the military, I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Life ahead, no worries, no roots, nothing stopping me from what was ahead. And now it's all gone. It's like the tendrils of mist, of fog. You can barely see the images. In the distance, it calls you with regrets.
No friends. No friends in the entire world.
I want those words
Swinging a miss with tendrils of mist.
It calls you with the regrets that you cannot go back. Haunts your memory that those were the best of times and they will never come again.
I want those words written on top of a cloud, framed like on a picture on my wall. That's fucking poetry right there.
I mean, found one on there.
I've never in my life had a reason to write down the words tendrils of the mist.
Yeah, that guy didn't have a reason either, to be fair.
Or live.
Maybe this is like that moment in his life where he like wrote that thing and then we say it on this podcast and then people really connect with tendrils of mist.
Tendrils of mist.
Then he's like making the Tendrils of Mist book and then like this is like the jump off point
That's
for this
the
guy.
title for his unfinished romance novel, Tendrils of the Mist.
The Geriatric Hippie from 7 months ago.
This guy is definitely going to have a good take on the kids these days.
I actually
Or
like,
something about Koreans.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually like this guy. Geriatric Hippie 7 months ago. All I need now is a nursing home with a wicked sound system that'll let me smoke pot all day. My idea of a nursing home. Not my father's nursing home.
His children have definitely had to move him more than once because he's either gotten or given gonorrhea at a nursing home. This man likes to fuck.
Absolutely. Old age isn't slowing. He's still living his glory days.
I was shocked the first time I found out a few years ago that like the highest rates of syphilis and gonorrhea are in nursing homes. Like,
Oh yeah.
They fuck. Those old people fuck.
And finally,
Forced to. For the amusement of the staff.
oh God.
Not all of them.
if Happy Gilmore was made today, oh no, oh
This is
no.
animated quality shit we're talking here.
Literally, she's German.
And finally, Deidre K. Dehart from 1 day ago, hot off the presses. And this is truly bizarre. Our local boys baseball team just won the state championship. And I know that for a number of them, this is their glory days. They'll be riding in a Mart cart 30 years from now, so big from drinking beer that they can't walk more than 2 feet to the bathroom, but they'll always be big baseball players in their own minds.
Jesus.
Holy
What about her
shit.
son?
It says the local boys baseball
She
team.
just took the Glory Days video on YouTube as a chance
Yeah.
to tell all the children in her town, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You
Because
take your
Christ.
big shots with your high school baseball
yeah, that's what it
team.
is. Because we're sitting here.
Hey, everyone from 14 to 19 at John F. Kennedy High, go fuck
That's what
yourselves.
she's saying.
God.
Like, we're sitting here recording
You
this
can
in.
geotag each person.
Yeah. We're,
The benefit of the community.
We're recording this in May, which means when she says local boys, she literally means high school kids or younger. And she's like, yeah, look at you now. You can hit a baseball. Pretty soon you're going to be fat. You're going to be
theory-
fat.
I got a theory here. Her ex-husband was on a state champion baseball team.
Also, I get the feeling that her house just got fucked up by a bunch of high school.
Yeah, the baseball team threw eggs in her house.
Yeah, egged and,
I
and
feel
toilet
like
paper in her
whoever
house.
was like the captain of the team when she was in high school fucked her and then left her with a baby.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean,
there we go. Yeah, yeah.
that too, and he got fat.
She was the Tokyo Rose of their trailer park. It was like, I'm going to make it out of here. He's going to get an NFL contract. And then shit went sideways.
And that is Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen and the goddamn E Street Band. Our jam of the motherfucking week. Reza, where can people find you on the internet?
Facebook, Twitter, all that at Reza Asgari. Instagram, specifically Rez Hides Badly in Plants because I wanted to be stupid on there.
Okay.
And the Wrigley Comedy Chew.
Yeah, that's right. Check out That's a Hell of a Show down there in Long Beach.
We give you all 12 minutes and you can smoke. It's outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
As God intended.
Hell yeah. Sam, where can people find you online?
Slam Harder at Twitter. Sam666 on Instagram.
Sam Harder 666,
Yeah,
right?
Sam Harder 666.
Hell yeah. Carter, where can people find you online?
Carter_Glasscock on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, by the way, me and Carly have a comedy show that we run at the where I work, Rosenthal Wine Bar, and we have some great comics on it this time. And yeah, it's June 26th.
All right.
It's a
Yeah.
Sunday.
That's a fun ass show. You'd be right near the ocean. Feel them breezes. Feel them vibes of Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. Pro Wrestling returns to the Burbank Moose Lodge this Saturday, June 11th. On the 18th, come check me out at Avatar 2 over at the Good Night. And on the 24th, I'm going to be hosting Jetpack over at the Bar Lubitsch in beautiful West Hollywood, California. So come see me there in June. Best way to support the show, head over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. Second best way to support this show, if for some reason you have not, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show that attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, we will make you subsist on sunlight and air. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.